In the 6th year of secretly loving Joel, I used a life-saving favor in exchange for him marrying me for 3 years. During this period, whoever breached the contract would pay a penalty of $30 billion. Because of that, he hated me to the core. He changed girlfriends one after another. He showed off his love in front of me on purpose just to disgust me and trample on me. I knew it was useless. No matter what I did, it was useless. The 3-year term ended. I left the divorce agreement behind and walked away cleanly. The assistant reported Joel Madam ran away again. Joel tilted his head back with a cold laugh letter. In a few days, she'll come back on her own crying and begging me. Only this time, things didn't go as he wished. I don't want love anymore, and I don't want him anymore. This time, I'm the one replacing him. Chapter 1, I love Joel. Everyone knows that. Joel hates me. Everyone knows that too. Chapter 2, on the day of the friends gathering, I arrived a few minutes late. In those few minutes, I made up my mind. A high-end private clubhouse inside a luxury suite. The lights were dim. Joel leaned back against the sofa, a small red ember glowing at his fingertips. Half of his face was hidden in shadow, the other half exposed in the light. He lifted his hand and took a drag of his cigarette. Through the smoke, I couldn't clearly see the emotions in his eyes. Joelena asked when you'd have time to see her. She said she doesn't want money. Yeah, if it won't work otherwise, just agree already. She's been pestering me to death, cackling every day. Joel put out the cigarette and said calmly, I'm not going. The two men exchanged a look and asked cautiously, why though, Joel, did Elena make you mad? That can't be. She seems pretty obedient. Joel looked tired. He leaned his head against the back of the sofa, exhaled, lightly, his voice tinged with fatigue. A girl in her early 20s. If not money, what do you think she wants the two stop talking wisely, shutting their mouths? If she doesn't want money, then she wants love. Love requires 2 willing parties. You give her money, the fate ends there. If she clings and pesters endlessly, then that's her fault. All these years, they had never seen Joel genuinely love anyone. He didn't even have an official girlfriend. Chapter 3, about your wife. The speaker was Noah, the one who arranged today's gathering. Joel rubbed his temples with one hand, unable to hide the irritation in his tone. Noah, I'm in a very bad mood right now. Don't bring her up and ruin it for me. Noah's gaze drifted subtly toward the doorway where I stood then. He dared to speak boldly. But the matter between you two should be settled eventually. Joel lowered his eyes and let out a cold laugh. Settled from the day she threatened me, she should have known it would come to this. Everything is her own doing. Who else is there to blame? Chapter 4, yes, who is there to blame me for falling in love with you, for daring to fight for myself, or blame me for taking away your freedom, for failing to give you what you wanted, a numb pain spread from my heart. My fingertips turned cold as I clenched the object in my hand tightly. A creaking sound echoed. It was a string of prayer beads, the ones I had begged for on my knees step by step at the temple for him. The gift I planned to give him tonight. It looked like it wouldn't be given anymore. Suddenly my stomach churned violently. I rushed into the bathroom and vomited hard. There was nothing to throw up, only dry heaving. Physiological tears mixed with bitterness spilled down my face. Chapter 5, remembering what he said, I abruptly turned on the faucet. I cupped cold water in my hands and splashed it on my face again and again. I lifted my gaze, staring at my drenched reflection in the mirror. All these years, how did I end up like this, like a mad woman? I let out a bitter laugh. The moment I turned and walked away, I made up my mind. 3 years. I think that's long enough. If 3 years can't warm a person's heart, what am I still holding on to? It's time to learn to let go Roma. Chapter 6, I drifted home in a daze. In this huge villa, not a single person returned to me. Wrapped in darkness, it felt like a bottomless abyss. On countless nights in the past, Joel surrounded by women laughing and flirting with him. And those nights I spent alone, the emptiness clung to my entire body. I took a deep breath. From now on, that won't happen anymore. But this heart, why does it hurt so much and feel so empty? So this is what it feels like when you truly decide to let go. It's confusion, a helpless disorientation, like a heart once filled to brim, suddenly having a piece carved out of it. Chapter 7, will a dodder vine die if it loses its host? Yes. But I am not a dodder vine. It's time to wake up from the dream. Chapter 8, I took out the divorce agreement, signed it, and placed it on the table, along with a ring and the string of prayer beads. I touched them one last time. Joel, I return your freedom to you. A tear fell onto the paper, soaking the ink. Chapter 9, when I opened my suitcase to pack, I suddenly realized, why did I have so many things in contrast Joel barely had any clothes here? One night, he came back drunk with a young and pretty girl beside him. Seeing someone at home, she froze for a few seconds. Sorry, sis. Joel drank too much and asked me to come back with him, so I'll leave first. But Joel grabbed her wrist. His dark eyes were deep and hazy, his voice hoarse and drunk. You, stay. Then he pointed at me. You go bring me clean clothes. And one for her, too. She's not leaving tonight. I didn't move. My nails dug into my skin, yet I felt no pain at all. The girl gave me an apologetic smile. Then sorry to trouble you, sis. Joel won't let go of me, so I have no choice. I'll take care of him tonight. I let out a self-mocking smile, my lowered lashes hiding the dimness of my eyes. He didn't have many clothes here. That night, I ordered a few online. Joel, the term is almost up. Can't you at least look at me? Joel curled his lips in a cold, mocking smile. Sure, you die and I'll look at you. How's at Chapter 10, I only packed my undergarments and personal items. Everything else I bagged up and threw out at the recycling station. Now the whole house was completely cold and empty. I bought a red-eye flight to Highshore. My best friend Nicole lives there, a perfect chance to clear my mind. Chapter 11, when Joel received the assistant's message, he was kissing a new fling under the aurora. Passers-by praised how loving they looked. Some even took photos and posted them online, stirring up a wave of attention. Madam ran away again. She only left the divorce agreement, a ring, and a string of prayer beads. On the way back, Joel looked at the message and laughed. His laughter was lazy. He snuffed out his cigarette, his voice low and magnetic. Let her. In a few days, she'll come back, crying and begging me. It wasn't the first time she caused a scene. In fact, she made a scene too many times, always the same tricks. Joel had never coaxed Roma. Of course, there was no love, only hate. So why coax her? So it was always Roma coaxing herself. 2 or 3 days without any news from Joel, she would automatically fall into panic. Once she calmed down, she would cry and beg to reconcile again. Because of this, Joel had Roma completely under his thumb. He thought this time would be no different. Chapter 12, however, what Joel didn't know was love. This word wears people down too much. Roma had long worn herself into scars riddled with wounds everywhere. She thought she had become immune to all poisons, but in reality a single straw could easily break her. Therefore this time was different. Roma truly wanted to leave. She no longer wanted love, and she no longer wanted him. Chapter 13, Roma, my little brother, is coming this afternoon. Want to meet him? Nicole asked while putting on makeup. I was lying on a lounge chair sunbathing. Hearing her words, I lifted the book covering my face. Your brother, that 17-year-old brat. Nicole rolled her eyes. You haven't seen him in 5 years. Only a corpse doesn't age. He's now a 1. 85-meter sports, student super popular in school. When he heard you were coming, he took a red-eye flight back from Shenzhen. With that kind of determination. Do I even need to say more? I had no energy. I put the book back over my face. I might ruin your brother's mood. I'm really not in the right headspace. Nicole glared at me like I was hopeless, stormed over, and forcefully dragged me up. If you dare keep acting half-dead like this again, try me. Is a man worth all this? Did every man on earth die? Why hang yourself on him? He could flirt with women right in front of you. Now that you two have nothing to do with each other, why can't you find someone new? Moral high ground? Screw that. Don't let anyone use it to chain us women. And Roma, if you keep this up, get lost, we won't even be friends anymore. I knew she had a sharp tongue but a soft heart. But she wasn't wrong. I had wasted far too much time on one person. I needed a new life. Chapter 14, in the afternoon, at the entrance of the amusement park. Ethan wore only a simple gray tracksuit, highlighting his tall and well-proportioned figure, wide shoulders and narrow waist. A few strands of hair fell over his forehead, shading his deep brows and eyes. He carried the bold, unrestrained air unique to teenage boys. With a faint smile at the corner of his lips, he greeted me. Long time no see. I smiled back. Yeah, 5 years, right? Nicole clicked her tongue in disgust. You two are hopeless. She slapped the back of Ethan's head, handed him 2 tickets, and whispered a threat through clenched teeth. "I helped you set this up and got her here. You better make me proud and grab the chance. If you don't, I'll kill you. Go on. I've already arranged everything for you." Ethan curved his lips into a smile, lifted the tickets, and shook them lightly, assuring his sister to relax. Nicole then suddenly had a stomachache and told us to go in first. Terrible, but I didn't expose her. Chapter 15. Ethan was very good at taking care of people before drinking water. He would open the bottle cap for me. When it was hot, he would block the sun for me. When there were many people, he let me walk on the inside while he stayed by my side. When eating, he would ask for my opinion. Whenever a thrilling ride scared me, he would cover my eyes and whisper, "Don't be scared. I'm here." A cold mint scent surrounded me, his chest warm. This was a sense of security he gave me. He centered everything around me, not missing a single shift in my emotions. With him, I felt deeply at ease. Even though he was several years younger than me and caring for someone meticulously, he was more mature than I was. The feeling of being loved, one I never experienced with Joel, I finally felt here with Ethan. So this is what it feels like to be cherished. It stirred my heart, filling it with happiness. My eyes grew sour for a moment. I blinked and pushed the feeling down. Ethan noticed. His dark eyes deepened briefly. His hand hanging by his side curled slightly. He pressed his hand on my shoulder and made me look at him. Softly, he said, "Roma, forget him. Let me love you." Chapter 16. At that moment, the world was muted for me. Shadows moved vaguely in the corner of my vision. He and I were frozen in that instant. Like a scene in a movie, romantic and completely unexpected. Ethan's eyes were dark as ink. I fell into his gaze, and my heart skipped a beat. My eyes stared blankly, forgetting how to react. Chapter 17. Meanwhile, Nicole, who was secretly recording me and Ethan, almost dropped her phone when she heard those words. "Damn little brother." That was one hell of a direct confession. Nicole grinned from ear to ear and started tapping furiously on her phone. Just moments ago, she intentionally delayed going inside and stayed outside scrolling through short videos. Then she discovered that the entire internet was flooded with footage of Joel and his little girlfriend kissing under the aurora. The person who recorded it put real effort into it. The shots were artistic and beautiful. Their faces weren't shown. But that didn't stop Nicole from recognizing them instantly. Comments from netizens appeared one after another. "So jealous. I heard that if you kiss under the aurora, your love will last forever. The guy must be crazy in love." No idea if he's crazy in love, but they sure are pleasing to the eye. Gorgeous guy, pretty girl. If you two have kids in the future, I'll buy all the baby supplies. Chapter 18. Bastards. Nicole was so furious, she wished she could crawl through the internet and tear that pair of dogs apart. Right then, inspiration struck her, and she made a decision. Fight fire with fire. Nicole quietly hid herself and recorded everything that happened between me and Ethan. Slow motion shots, sneaky background music, freeze frame edits. Every frame was meticulously crafted by her. The time right before dawn was the most beautiful. Love was most enchanting in that state of almost but not yet. Once the video was posted, it exploded online instantly. But Nicole didn't think it was enough. She even spent a large sum on promotion. Her goal was for Joel to see it. "Roma, without you will be better. What you don't want, someone else will treasure." Chapter 19. And the heroine of the story still didn't know any of this. Her SIM card had been canceled, and her old phone had been thrown away. The new phone hadn't even had time to download any apps yet. Only the pre-installed ones were there. She was still lost in confusion. Her best friend's younger brother had suddenly confessed to her. What should she do? Asking online. It's pretty urgent. Chapter 20. On the way back, Ethan was driving. Nicole was on her phone, and I was distracted. I wanted to open my phone and download short video apps to ease my mind. Nicole acted fast and snatched the phone away from me. "You need to figure out your own heart right now. You can't keep running away." Hearing her, Ethan lifted his eyes and looked at me through the rear-view mirror. Without warning, our eyes met. My heart tightened inexplicably. I turned away, pretending nothing happened. Ethan let out a soft laugh. I looked out the window, my ears, slightly red, heart pounding wildly. I wasn't sure if before clearing my heart completely I could make room for someone else without hurting him. Because I had walked this road before, I knew very well how painful it was. Ethan was very good. I didn't want to be the one who hurt him. Chapter 21, the entire ride was silent. When the car stopped downstairs at my place, Ethan didn't move. He said, "Sis, you go up first." Nicole gave him an okay gesture before leaving. She kept her head down the whole time typing on her phone, surprisingly focused. With 3 people in the car, there had still been space. Once one person left the car, suddenly felt crowded. Perhaps it was psychological. Or perhaps it was because Ethan's face was now so close. The boy's sword-like brows lifted slightly, his narrow phoenix eyes overflowing with gentle tenderness, and his voice was careless yet intoxicating. "Sister, have you thought about it? I can be your pawn. Use me. Revenge him. Isn't that good?" My heart skipped. Half a beat, my word stuck in my throat. "That's unfair to you." Ethan leaned closer. "I don't care. As long as it's you, I'm willing." I stared at him. Hormones surged. His warm breath tangled with mine. The air inside the car grew hotter and hotter. Dry wood, only one spark away from bursting into flames. Chapter 22, I forgot who started it first. By the time I realized what was happening, I had already climbed from the back seat to the driver's seat, straddling his lap. Ethan's scorching hands gripped my waist and pulled me toward him, deepening the kiss. Desire rising and falling, chaotic and overwhelming. When the kiss finally ended, my whole body was weak, melting in his arms. My face was already burning in shame. Afterward, when I tried to get up and escape, Ethan held me down. He leaned his head back on the seat, his Adam's apple bobbing. In a hoarse voice, he said, "Stay. Keep me company for a little longer." Feeling something abnormal beneath me, my face grew even hotter redder. I didn't dare move at all. The air fell into a deep silence. I leaned against his chest, hearing his strong, rapid heartbeat. The corner of my lips lifted in a small smile. So young and still can't control himself. Chapter 23, Ethan seemed to read my thoughts. Lowering his eyes, he explained, sorry it lost control the first time. It only likes you, just like I do. So, this kid, what nonsense was he saying I raise my hand and punch him? But because I had no strength, it looked more like I was acting spoiled. Ethan took my hand and lifted it to his lips, gently kissing it, devout as if receiving a precious treasure. "Sister kissed me, so I'm yours now. You can't go back on your word, and you can't say it was just a lip friendship." I propped myself up on his abdomen, sitting upright, looking serious. Some things needed to be made clear first. Ethan, before this, I had a 3-year marriage. As you saw, it ended terribly. I liked him for 9 years, but well, not only did I not win him, I ended up covered in wounds. So now you want to jump into a new relationship quickly. I can't. I'm scared. I don't know if I can afford to make mistakes again with someone else to waste another 9 years of my life on one person. The cost is too high. I can't afford it. And I can't say I completely erase him from my heart. That's unrealistic. If I'm not clear with myself, I think we just end up a mess together. So, before I could finish, my words were swallowed by a sudden kiss. Ethan bit my lip in punishment. I let out a painful, Chapter 20, for Ethan's lips slowly move away. In a hoarse voice, he said, "If you say things I don't like again, I'll punish you like this. I've already told you I don't care. I don't care what your reason is. Even if you're just using me, as long as you stay with me, I'm willing. It's okay if you haven't cleared him completely from your heart. I can wait slowly. As long as you have even the slightest thought of wanting to be with me, that's enough. Now, are you still going to reject me?" Ethan was like a perfect lover. Every word gently guided me. I was completely conquered. I wrapped my arms around his neck, shook, my head, my voice choked. "I want to be with you. Today. Right now. I also want a fierce, passionate love. Maybe you can give that to me." When we went upstairs, Nicole was leaning against the doorframe with a face mask on, her eyes looking at us with a very not innocent expression. "Darling, promise me. No matter how intense things get, remember to fix your clothes. Afterward." Okay, I looked down. The sky collapsed, face burning. I hurried to button the buttons that had been undone. The culprit, Ethan, was still laughing beside me. Nicole waved her hand, went back into her room, and locked the door. She called out as she left, "Do whatever you want tonight. I sleep like the dead. Won't hear a thing." Great. My skin was already thin. Now I was dying of embarrassment. Chapter 25. On the 7th day after I left, Joel's expression grew worse day by day. At a gathering, Joel sat in the booth with a blank face. Glass after glass in front of him was emptied. He lit a cigarette, smoke swirling around him. His eyes were filled with distraction. At that moment, someone exclaimed, "Isn't that the sister-in-law?" The air froze for several seconds. Everyone's attention was instantly drawn toward the shout, all eyes turning to the phone. It really did look like her. Then everyone looked toward the man in the booth. Noah reacted quickly. He covered the speaker's mouth, giving him frantic eye signals. "What nonsense are you saying? She just looks similar. How could sister-in-law leave Joel and be with another man?" Realizing it, the man scratched his head in embarrassment. Right, my mistake. Impossible that it's her. Someone next to him chimed in, "Oliver, keep talking nonsense like that, and Joel won't invest in your company." Just then, Joel spoke, his voice icy cold. "Bring it here." Chapter 26. Oliver hid the phone behind his back. "It's a mistake, Joel. It might not be sister-in-law." Joel lowered his eyes, an overwhelming pressure radiating from him. His patience had run out. He repeated, "Give it here." Oliver trembled as he stepped forward and handed it over. Joel stared at the woman in the video, smiling like a blooming flower. His eyes darkened even further. Suddenly he grabbed a wine bottle and smashed it hard against the floor. Red wine and shattered glass splashed up, landing on his face and his clothes, staining everything red. Like a bloodthirsty specter in the night, a dangerous madness lurked beneath the surface. They hadn't seen wrong. That woman was Roma. At the 6th second of the video, her left neckline showed a mole, and Roma happened to have one there. Chapter 27. Roma, you really are impressive. Leave me for how long? And you already find a new lover, so desperate for a man, really couldn't hold it in her. Joel's gaze grew colder, his expression darkening. The temperature around them dropped. The storm was about to break. No one dared breathe too loudly. Everyone knew, of all people to offend, never offend a lunatic. And here they had a living example. Oliver regretted it so much his guts turned green. All his fault. His hands itchy, his mouth itchy. Saw something he shouldn't, said something he shouldn't. If this ruined the cooperation between the two companies, he'd be the sinner. His family was counting on this deal to survive. At that moment, Joel stood up. His demeanor returned to its usual careless calm. In a detached voice, he said, "You all continue. I have something to take care of. I'm leaving first." With his departure, the suffocating tension in the room finally dissipated. Everyone let out a long breath. Silently, they all felt sorry for Roma. Noah, face grim, picked up his phone and called someone. Chapter 28. Joel didn't go anywhere. He went straight back to the villa, their marital home. Roma had lived here for 3 years. In the past, no matter how late he came home, or whether he came home at all, there was always a light left on for him. Roma was good at taking care of a home. The house was always tidy and organized. She loved flowers, so every corner of the house had bouquets. Their fragrance was rich, beautiful indeed. But Joel didn't like them. A trace of disgust flashed in his eyes. Maybe he truly disliked them. Or maybe he used the flowers as a way to imply his disdain for Roma. And now the person was gone, the house empty. Deathly silence filled the space. The flowers were gone. The person was gone. Empty, deserted, cold. Chapter 29. Joel walked quickly to the bedroom. As expected, everything related to her was gone. Only the divorce papers, a ring, and the prayer beads remained on the table. Those 3 items. He couldn't tell what he was feeling. Joel's first reaction was violence. He threw all 3 items into the trash, venting his anger. One hand braced on the desk, his fingertip tapping lightly. "Roma, fine. You're really something. Without me, I'll see how long you can last." Chapter 30. When I received Noah's call, I was curled up on the sofa, watching a show. Sister-in-law. "The video online isn't you, right?" Noah asked helplessly. I was confused. "What video?" Noah seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. Nothing. By the way, where are you now, sister-in-law? Why haven't you come to gatherings?" Joel He's not in good shape. He's not in good shape. Probably had a fight with one of his girlfriends. What does that have to do with me? I sat up, turned off the TV, and spoke. Calmly, Noah, from now on, don't tell me anything about him. I'm divorced. How he's doing has nothing to do with me. Also call me by my name from now on. Don't use that title. It makes my skin crawl. And I won't go to gatherings anymore. If he's there, I won't be. Besides, I'm not even in Jing City. I don't plan to return anytime soon. Noah instantly went into full alarm mode. His heart shot to his throat again. So you're in Haisha right now, yes. After getting the confirmation, Noah said, we're done for. Sis, no, Roma, be careful, okay, and hung up in a panic. I was even more confused. Seriously, what was Noah doing? And what video was he talking about? Chapter 31 Nicole happened to walk by while eating a chocolate bar. When she heard the word video, she froze for 2 seconds. I saw right through her in an instant. My eyes narrowed, staring at her with scrutiny. Nicole, was it you, Nicole? Let out 2 awkward laughs. She took out her phone and generously showed it to me. Hear this one. Nothing big. The video had over 10 million views and 3 million likes. You call this nothing good, Lord. She really did have the potential of a director. Even I felt moved watching it. Emotions budding, but not yet blooming, tentative glances, restrained affection in the air, buzzing with electricity. That vague, undefined, dreamy stage of ambiguity. Far more intoxicating than fiery passion. Because the unknown is alluring. Because the feelings aren't full yet. So they're at their most beautiful. It resonated with countless viewers. Chapter 32, suddenly something occurred to me. I narrowed my eyes. So the other day in the car, you wouldn't let me scroll videos because of this yep. Why did you make it still replying to comments? Nicole didn't even lift her head to help you get revenge. After typing the last sentence, she put away her phone and sat beside me. Why should a scumbag get to live comfortably just because you love him? Love itself isn't wrong. You're not wrong. He is the one who's wrong. Why do girls always blame themselves after a breakup? It's always a bastard's fault. He drove you mad, then calmly watched you fall apart, and finally stood on the moral high ground, accusing you of being unstable. He reduced everything to dust, then left you picking up every grain. So why should you suffer? He can go find women anytime, anywhere, embarrass you. So why shouldn't you stop caring? I wanted to see that after leaving that parasitic man, our baby Roma is only becoming better. He was the one dragging you down. In the past, you loved him, so I didn't interfere. People always need to hit a wall before turning back. I'm glad you didn't sink too deep. You turned back in time. 3 years of being close to him. Didn't you realize he's nothing special? Love given to someone unworthy is truly worthless. Chapter 33 Nicole said a lot. Every word came from her heart. I froze, staring at her dazedly. For the first time I saw this side of her, and I liked it even more. A sudden warmth surged in my eyes, blurring my vision. My heart softened, melting away. Even a corpse would regain warmth from this. Yes, I had spent all my thoughts on Joel. Forgot that I was someone worthy of being loved too. Luckily, someone was waiting for me to find myself again, waiting to pull me out of the abyss, and to stand shoulder to shoulder with me, flipping off the abyss and spitting at it. Of loving me, I was lucky to have met her. Nicole hugged me and gently patted my back. Roma promised me, rescue yourself from fire and water 1,000, 10,000 times no matter what. I closed my eyes. Tears slipped silently down my face, falling onto the floor. There was no sound, yet I felt it echo deafeningly in my heart. Only after walking through a path of confusion did I understand the preciousness of friendship. And love is worth nothing. Even the sincerest heart can change in an instant. Chapter 34 Jing City. Joel sat on the sofa, legs crossed, one hand supported his head on the armrest. His gaze was faint, fixed on his phone. For the past half-month there had been no sign of Roma. His phone was as silent as the dead. Before he disappeared for even a day, Roma's messages would arrive. First she would ask, and if he didn't reply, she would remind him again. The chat logs were basically Roma talking to herself, because Joel knew she couldn't leave him. So he believed that now patiently waiting was giving Roma a step to come down from. If she had any sense, she should already be using that step to beg him. But this time things didn't go as he wished. Chapter 35, Joel. Let out a cold laugh. Roma having fun. Aren't you? Looks like you're determined to go against me. This relationship doesn't start just because you say so, nor does it end because you say so. I haven't agreed when it ends whether it ends. That is for me to decide. So you better obediently crawl back. Joel waved his hand. Assistant Daniel pushed the door open and entered. He lowered his head. Joel's voice was cold and thin as ice as he ordered go. Bring her back to me. If she dares resist, knock her out and tie her up. Daniel. Yes, Joel rubbed the prayer beads on his wrist, a playful smile in his eyes. In the trash bin beside him was a torn-up divorce agreement. Chapter 36, Madam, please come back with us. Daniel, leading a group of black-clad bodyguards, blocked my path. At that moment, I was holding Ethan's hand, ready to go eat hot pot. Daniel's tone was polite, but his actions were extremely forceful. I pointed at the 5 or 6 huge men behind him, each with arms thicker than my legs, and asked with a smile, "This is what you call, please," Daniel replied. "Indifferently, please understand. It's the young master's order. I only follow commands." My gaze turned cold. What if I say, "No, listen carefully, Daniel. He and I were only in a contractual marriage. We never registered it. We relied solely on a stamped paper. Half a month ago, I already signed that paper. I don't see any reason for me to return. I don't know what he wants, but right now I don't want to see anything or anyone related to him. So take your people and get lost. Don't appear in front of me again." After that, I pulled Ethan and prepared to leave. But Daniel waved his hand, and the bodyguards rushed forward, blocking every path. He said, "Madam, don't make this difficult for me. The young master said that no matter what, he will bring you back today." I frowned, ready to curse him out, but Ethan spoke before I could. She said she doesn't want to go back. "Are you deaf?" Daniel sized him up. "So you're the man from the video." Ethan didn't release my hand. He even lifted our joined hands and shook them, raising an eyebrow, his eyes full of mockery. "That's right. That's me. What, you gonna kill me?" Daniel calmly removed his glasses and flexed his wrist. In that case, perfect. Before coming, Joel had secretly given him another order, the man in the video. Make sure he never dares approach Roma again. Chapter 37, my heart jolted violently. I knew all too well what that gesture from Daniel meant. Previously, a whole group of men in black had blocked Joel's way. They supposedly held a grudge because Joel had shut down their operation. But Joel only curled his lips into a smile, unhurried, leaning casually against the car. Daniel had slowly taken off his glasses and put them away. Then, following Joel's signal, he shot out like a gust of wind, one man fighting an entire gang of black-clad thugs. By the end, black-clad bodies were falling all around him, and he stood in the middle, soaked in blood, calmly pulling out a handkerchief to wipe the blood from his eye before putting his glasses back on. Coming back to my senses, my forehead was already covered in cold sweat. I wanted to pull Ethan and run. But Ethan led me to the side, wiping off the bead of sweat on my forehead, comforting me with gentleness and calm. "Don't be scared. Good girl, close your eyes. Give me 5 minutes. Can you not go? He's terrifying. I don't want you to get hurt." Ethan didn't speak. He simply stroked the top of my head. I knew persuading him wouldn't work. And hiding wouldn't work either. Avoid this time, and there would only be a next time. If we wanted to end this once, and for all we had to deal with the situation now. And they intended to resolve it in a man's way. Just before he let go, I grabbed his hand, tightly, worried and scared. "You have to promise me. You're not allowed to get hurt." Ethan nodded, smiling. "With you, here you're my protective charm." Uneasy, I closed my eyes. Rustling wind brushed past my ears. Wind mixed with the sounds of fighting. The dull thuds of fists hitting flesh of man's, muffled groans of pain, the harsh breathing of someone exhausting their strength. My heart had climbed all the way to my throat. The anxiety grew and grew. I didn't know how long it had been, but I couldn't take it anymore and prepared to open my eyes. The next second, a hand smelling faintly of blood covered my eyes. Ethan's low, mellow voice brushed my ear. "Be good. Time's not up yet." Chapter 38, I panicked and grabbed his cold hand without thinking. There was still sticky liquid on it. Ethan tried to pull his hand back, but I held it tightly. He said, "Dirty." I ignored that word and spoke anxiously. "Are you hurt? Is it serious? Come on, we're going to hospital." Tears fell before I could stop them, my voice urgent and trembling. Ethan buried his head in the crook of my neck and shook his head. His voice was exhausted. "It's not my blood. I won Roma. Don't be scared. I'm here. I know. Don't talk. Let's go to the hospital and get you checked, okay?" My tears flowed, even harder, my heart tightening painfully. Seeing me crying like that so miserably, Ethan's heart softened completely. He gently kissed the tears at the corners of my eyes and coaxed softly, "Don't cry, Roma. When you cry, my heart shatters. I don't want to go to the hospital. Take me home. I want to be with you." I wiped my tears messily and forced myself to calm down. "Okay, I won't cry. I'm not crying. I'll take you home." "Okay." The next second my body lifted into the air. Ethan carried me in his arms, his palms burning hot. My legs wrapped around his waist, my head resting on his shoulder. His scent wrapped tightly around me. Our skin pressed against each other. The tip of my nose was filled with that clean, woody fragrance. It made me feel at ease. Chapter 39 blood trickled down Daniel's forehead as he quietly watched us leave. "This should be enough, right, you? Should be happy now." Daniel reported, "Joel, I'm sorry. The mission failed. That man blocked us. The people we brought weren't his match, and neither was I." Joel smashed his phone in anger. Useless irritation surged in his chest, making it hard to breathe. He yanked his tie loose with one hand, red veins spreading in his eyes. "Roma, you're not getting away from me. From the day you insisted on marrying me, you became mine." Looks like this time he needed to go to Heischer himself, to drag her back and lock her up. Chapter 40 Ethan carried me all the way back like that, and I fell asleep lying against him. We had chosen a hot pot restaurant close to home. On the way, many passers-by looked at us with envy. Some even recognized us as the super popular ambiguous couple from that viral video. Secretly excited, they filmed us and uploaded it online, quickly stirring up heated discussion. When we got home, Nicole saw Ethan covered in blood and me in his arms, and she let out a scream. "Roma, what happened? Why is there blood on you? What happened?" Ethan placed a finger against his lips, signaling silence. Softly, "She's tired. Let her sleep a bit. Go out first, I'll explain." Nicole nodded and quietly closed the door. Ethan washed his hands over and over in the sink. Then he explained everything that happened tonight. Nicole instantly lost it, rolling up her sleeves, furious, swearing she was going to butcher that bastard man. He still has the nerve to show up. Anything he's done is enough to have him flogged, and he still wants to hurt Roma. Fuck him, just wait. If he dares show up again, I'll be the first to tear him apart. Chapter 41 inside the room. I opened my eyes. Listening to the voices outside, tears swept over again, soaking the pillow. I have no parents. So, in the first half of my life, when I liked someone, I wanted to cling tightly. I wanted to become family with him, so that I too could have a family. But unfortunately, he wasn't the right person. The first half of my life was spent in misfortune, but from now on, I will live the rest of my life in happiness. Because I met friends who feel like family. Because I met a boyfriend who would fight for me. Luck will visit everyone. Please wait patiently, it will come. 26-year-old Roma has reached her turning point. She wants to tell 17-year-old Roma liking someone unworthy is not your fault, and fighting for yourself is not wrong. As long as you turn back, it's never too late. Love yourself well, and someone will love you. As for those rotten people and rotten things, just bury them in the past. Let them become a memory. That's good enough. Chapter 42 Nicole never expected that one day the words she used to joke about would actually come true. The bastard Joel really appeared right in front of us. At that time, to help me relax, Nicole insisted on taking me out for a walk. She dressed me up beautifully. A French-style nude pink fishtail dress paired with a white cardigan sweater, little heels, my hair tied up high, revealing a slender neck and a pearl necklace resting at the center. Like a white moonlight, stepping out a novel, gentle and radiant. Nicole shook her head and clicked her tongue. If only my little brother could get this lucky. If I were a man, you wouldn't be able to get out of bed. I looped my arm through hers playfully and teased if you have that need. I can also... Laughing, I walked out of the mall with Nicole. The moment I looked up, I saw Joel leaning against the car end. A trench coat head lowered, lighting a cigarette. I froze on the spot. In an instant, everything around me blurred. The sounds of my ears turned into buzzing. My feet felt weighed down with lead, unable to move. My heart pounded violently, as if it would break my ribs apart. I never imagined I would meet him again, and in such a way. And the protective shell I had built around myself quietly cracked somewhere. Chapter 43. Joel saw me too. He put out the cigarette and walked toward me. It had only been a short while, but he looked much more worn down. His clothes were wrinkled, no tie on his collar, the top 2 buttons undone. His expression was dark, his eyes bloodshot. He spoke in a hoarse voice. "Roma, have you made enough trouble? I've come to take you home." My fingers instantly turned cold. The panic and insecurity accumulated over countless days and nights surged violently, swallowing my nerves. Nicole patted my hand, signaling me not to worry. She stepped in front of me like a mother hen, protecting her chick sleeves rolled up, ready to fight. "So you're the one bullying my Roma, you piece of shit. That's all you amount to. How dare you? If Roma hadn't saved your life, you'd have been dead long ago. Who gave you the right to bark here? Useless, give you a little color, and you think you're king. Were you some imperial master? The Qing dynasty is long gone. Can you stay the hell away from her? She's avoiding you, because she doesn't want to see you, and yet you chase after her. She loved you wholeheartedly, and you went around picking up mistresses everywhere. Aren't you disgusted with yourself? Why should Roma pay for the shit you did? She owes you nothing. That you owes her a lifetime, and still has the nerve to act arrogant, you pile of garbage. If you dare bother my Roma again, every time I see you, I'll curse you out. Now get lost." Nicole scolded him endlessly, every sentence hitting directly at the deepest part of my heart. And each sentence shattered Joel's heart even more. He took a few steps forward, eyes red, looking at me. "Roma, come back with me. I'll treat you well. This is my promise to you." "Joel, why should my girlfriend go back with you to reminisce? That's plenty already. She has no need to see you again. So now, please get lost." A clear young male voice spoke from my left. Ethan walked over, a faint smile on his lips, naturally taking my hand. He said gently, "Sorry I'm late. Don't be afraid. I'll help you curse him back." Nicole also stepped back to my side, standing on my right. One on the left, one on the right, my strongest support. Chapter 44. Joel's cold, venomous gaze moved from my hand, held tightly with Ethan's up to Ethan's face. "Whatever happened between Roma and me, what does it have to do with you? You're just a pawn she's using to get back at me. Once she's done using you, won't she throw you away the same? You're just a dog. And a dog dreaming of love from its master. The only person she loves is me." Ethan let out a low laugh, softly rubbing my fingers. "Your attempt to drive a wedge between us is painfully cheap, truly foul." He turned slightly toward me. "If we're talking about pawns, that was my suggestion in the first place. Unlike you, is more like a discarded piece on the board. So it's all my own willingness. You should worry about yourself instead." Joel ignored him. He stepped forward, eyes locked on me. "Roma, didn't you love me so much you couldn't live without me? And now you're pretending to be pure and righteous. Without me, you think you can survive as long as you come back to me now. I'll overlook everything." Laughable, truly laughable, as if he were granting me some kind of royal favor. Chapter 45. PA. My response was a slap with every ounce of strength I had. With 3 years of resentment, with all the disrespect he had shown me, with all the anger at how he insulted my family. "Joel, get this straight. I am a human being, not some toy you summon and dismiss it. Well, you couldn't give me love in 3 years. Yet the moment I leave, suddenly you know how to show up. Because you think it's interesting. Someone finally resisted you, escaped your control. Someone you never expected. So you're unwilling, you're furious, and you want to drag me back, tie me to your side. So you can watch me suffer and feel like you regain control over your freedom. But I refuse to fulfill your sick desires. You will never admit your faults. You deserve to live in pain and repent to me for the rest of your life." Joel turned his head aside, gritting his teeth, hands clenching into fists. "Roma, you forgot that we're still married. The agreement clearly states that whoever ends it pays the penalty. Do you have that kind of money? Oh, write that divorce agreement you signed. I tore it up. So you're still my wife. If you want, we can go register right now." I laughed at how stupid he was. A successful CEO, outstanding scholar, and yet completely defeated by me. "You really are forgetful. The agreement clearly states that after 3 years it automatically expires. Whether I sign it or not doesn't matter. You were too angry back and didn't read carefully right. If I'm entering a marriage, how could I not leave myself a way out and now? Can you get lost before you could speak? I pulled Ethan and Nicole away. Chapter 46. Joel stared blankly at Roma's departing figure. In his mind, her image flashed again. Hubby, you're home. Are you hungry? I'll cook for you, Roma, smiling, sweetly caring for him, cherishing every moment she could have alone with him. Yes, as long as he came home at night, she would be happy. Sometimes she waited at the entrance for him. Sometimes she fell asleep on the sofa while waiting, night after night again and again, never growing tired of it. How did he lose the girl whose entire world was in Joel? You truly don't deserve love. He lifted his gaze toward the blazing sun. The heat stung his eyes. Once he had a sincere love right in front of him, and he didn't cherish it. Not until he lost it did regret tear him apart. A sharp pain twisted through his chest, as if someone had ripped out his veins and stirred them viciously. Chapter 47. Joel always thought he hated Roma, but he didn't know when the hatred turned into love. Maybe it was from the beginning. Maybe it was some moment during those 3 years. As the old saying goes, hatred is love taken to the extreme. So he had fallen for Roma long ago. He just refused to admit it. And now he lost Roma and lost himself as well. Joel closed his eyes and at last his tears of regret fell. Chapter 48. People who only know how to cherish after losing you are not worth having at all. To debase yourself for someone like that is to debase